if you ever come out to the homestead, you're gonna see on my place chickens and goats and sheep and fruit trees and vineyards and gardens and donkeys and cattle and all this stuff. And I love all those things. It's really enjoyable. But I had a guest come over a while back, and he made a comment, because if you're at my place, it's a natural conversation point to look at all that stuff and, you know, kind of see, hey, you're trying to do whatever out here at the homestead. And he made a comment. He said, you know, you're not going to be self-sufficient, right? And that comment kind of, it's been stuck in my craw for a bit. And it's because I couldn't explain. I felt like something was wrong, like he just didn't get it. Because on one level, okay, am I trying to produce some resilience because the places I've lived, the things I've seen, do I think it's wise to do that? Yeah, I do. Do I think I'm going to be self-sufficient? I don't think I'm self-sufficient to take my next breath. I think it's all by the grace of God that I woke up this morning, that we have food on our table this morning, that the world just continued one more day, is all by God's grace. So I would deny the idea or even the goal of self-sufficiency, even on just a practical term. I know what I can and can't do. I know my limitations. And we have some strong community out here. We have some great folks that we are in a neighborhood area with, as in like my neighbors within a few miles of my place. We got good body of Christ connections all through the area we're in. We have strong community sufficiency. But that's not why I got into homesteading. I didn't do it for self-sufficiency. I did it ultimately to sustain my soul. It is stressful, it's frustrating, sometimes it's tiresome, it's always inconvenient, but it's peaceful and it's restorative and it's healing to do that. When I got out of the military, I'll be honest and say I need some work on that. In 2000, when I exited the military, I was contacted by several groups to go back into the world that my trajectory was already on. Like at a certain point in my career path, I was getting ready to jump off even in the military to go do very spooky things. And I was accepted to a pipeline, all this other stuff, to go do some really interesting work. And when I got hurt, injured, med board, all that stuff, there's still a lot of opportunity out there for folks who are interested, who have a mindset for going to spooky places, doing spooky things with spooky people that the world will never know about. And that is really magnetic to me. I am drawn to that type of world. I'm good at those type of things. But when I looked at my kids, when I looked at my family, it would not be right for them. And as a matter of fact, some opportunities have been popped up in the past 2 months, this month actually, to maybe get back into a very spooky world again. But I don't want to live with my kids in those areas. I don't want to live in Northern Virginia. I don't want to live in the DC area. I don't want to live in these locations because I think it's corrosive. That type of work, I think, is corrosive to your soul. That type of work of espionage and manipulation and underhanded influence and leverage, I think it degrades something in your spirit if you do it for a career. And there's something very restorative about the other career path we took. So that was my fork in the road. Do I want to continue down the spooky guy lane, or do I want to do just something totally different, go back to Oklahoma? Of course, COVID hit, and I always say, like, my plans A, B, C, D, E, F, G all fell through, and I was doing things I really didn't plan on doing. And we kind of stumbled upon this property out here in God's timing that it's been good for us. It's been years, but it's been good for us. And there's this, I don't know, there's a scene in the Star Wars movie, which I don't like, most Star Wars movies, but where they find the evil scientist guy, or he was evil, and he said he's going to go away, and he's like some farmer on some like ash planet or something, and they're like, this guy, the farmer, who would have thought? And he goes, it's a peaceful life. And I think there's a reason why, when you look at early Christian movements like the monks, nuns, why it's typically done, at least in portion, in isolation from the world, away from hustle and bustle, away from busyness, away from obligations and status climbing, corporate ladders, and all this other stuff. It's quiet, it's silent, it's reflective, and I think it's extremely restorative to your soul. So if I could go back and have that conversation again with the friend who had said, you're not going to be self-sufficient, right? I'd say, you're right, but I am trying to sustain my soul. I'm trying to heal my soul out here with it. So that's why I do what I do. That's why, as opportunities pop up or recruiters talk to me from spooky places again, yeah, there's that Tukish side of me that's like, let's do it, let's lock on for the great adventure. But there's a reason that roadblocks have popped up for us every time it's happened. I know God is keeping me here for a reason. I know He is sustaining me here for a reason. He's keeping me here for healing for a reason. I think it's good for my family. I think it's good for my kids, and I know it's good for me. So what I'm trying to do is not self-sufficiency. What I'm trying to do is keep my soul.